So this video is more like unscripted, just chilling out at my girlfriend's apartment here in Stockholm. Just behind me is a school. They're on summer holiday, and far behind those buildings is a nice lake where people go kayaking and canoeing, boating, and also swimming. And it's really strange to me that the Swedish people, Swedish culture in general, they love like swimming in the cold lake, no matter the time of the year. They tend to do it in the summer, but I mean, even when the weather is not so great, they're still brave enough to jump in to cool himself off. And we were out there earlier before lunch, just this morning. And this is just like a rant video to try and get to know you guys. If you guys watch my video, then I encourage you to subscribe and like. This is a brand new channel. I want to be as open, sincere, and as honest as I can in regards to breakup recovery, divorce recovery, because I've been through many breakup and one divorce. And I have a child from that divorce as well. So I'll be talking about in the future how to deal with a difficult ex-wife and how to maintain your relationship with your children, right? But besides from that, I'm also going to talk about how to reclaim yourself. You know, the name of my channel is Reclaim with Teddy, right? Reclaiming yourself is finding who you are in this weird but wonderful world where we're inundated with social media and information and so many celebrities and influences that pull us one way or the other, and we don't know like what's really real anymore, you know, because narrative can be twisted and stories can be manipulated, you know, whether we're talking about the mainstream media or anything that anyone's trying to sell you. You know, I have a coaching business, obviously, so I am trying to help men not only recover from breakup, but also to find their one true person, someone who's going to be compatible with them, someone that hopefully is there for the long haul and is not just going to, you know, be a fly by night kind of situation. So I encourage you to join me and comment and ask me questions. The more questions and the comment you guys ask, it's going to give me more ideas. It's going to give me more substance to bring to the table for you guys. And I really want that. I really want to start this little community, no matter how big it is. You know, it might just end up being like 50 people, but I don't care because, you know, I'm self-sustaining and I want to use my knowledge and my experience. You know, I'm 43 this year. I may look a bit younger than that, but, you know, I'm a millennial child, something in the waters in the early 80s, right? Also want to explain with my really weird and cookie accent, you know, because I was born and raised in California, but I've been living in Europe, in London, and here in Stockholm for the last, and then in Germany as well for the last 16 years. And I have this sort of transatlantic accent where you can't really place where I'm from. It's more like a international accent than anything, but primarily it's American. So I want to share you guys stories from the heart, you know, things that I'm observing, you know, things that are going on every day. And it's so hard for us. I don't know about you guys, but it gives me a headache sometimes. It's so hard to filter out what is really going on, especially in today's dating climate. So I'll give you an example. You know, there's so many data out there that shows men and women are living more and more atomized life. You know, they rather choose to be alone and to be with each other. And I think that's so unhealthy for society. You know, that's so unhealthy for the next generation. Yeah, okay, you can live your life and play your video games or go on brunch with your girlfriends, you know, if you're a girl, and so be it. You know, society be damned, right? But the thing is, we need each other. Men and women need each other, and we need to come together to procreate, to create the next generation, and hopefully impart some good values that we've learned along the way onto the young one. You know, like especially for men, guys, like there's this I would say an innate feeling for men to want to have to mentor younger men, right? We want to mentor the next generation for them to grow up to be righteous and dignified people. I don't want to live in a society, guys, where like everyone is awkward, everyone is cringed all the time, everyone is always doing their own thing on their own phone because they're so scared of interacting with anyone else. You know, you'd rather order online and go to a restaurant and God forbid open your mouth and talk to a stranger. You know, and I just think it's such a sad existence and it's such a sad trajectory that we're heading on. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments. You know, it's open for you guys. But let me give you an example that something that's really concerning to me right now is how, okay, so on social media, when you say things that are nuanced, that are balanced, like it rarely gets any traction. You have to say the most extreme things, you have to say the most controversial things in order for people to get attention. And one of the things right now that's getting a lot of traction is this sort of pitting men against women, you know, in this dating climate, making it seem like we're adversary and there's no middle ground. There's no room to connect. There's no space for us to find our commonality. There's just space for war, you know. And the men are shouting one thing and the women are shouting another thing, you know. I often hear that. Oh, you know, the dating apps, you know, they prove how picky women are. You know, women only want to date men of a certain height, you know, 6 foot tall, makes a certain amount of money, and all of this other things are associated with high value men. And then on the opposite end, you know, you got guys who are turning like their whole modernism off and saying, I want a traditional woman, you know, I want a woman who's submissive, I want a woman who stays at home and cook and clean and all of that. Guys, we're not living in 1950 anymore, right? You're not gonna get yourself that kind of girl. You know, you want that kind of girl, you probably gotta go on TikTok and just follow her and watch her all day long. You know, like it's not the world that we're living in. You know, like they're acting like the past 50 years of egalitarianism, you know, and feminist movement. Regardless how you feel about it, you know, you don't need to say it's good or bad. You just need to accept that this is the reality, and that your little movement and you cannot change that. Okay, women want equal right, they want respect, and they definitely don't want to submit to any man. Okay, I mean, asking a woman to submit to you, I mean, you sound like the handmaid's tale kind of guy, right? What you can ask for is mutual respect and sort of companionship where the both of you build each other up, and one person can always be strong and lead. You know, sometimes, for instance, when I'm sick, when I'm feeling not myself, my girlfriend leads, my partner leads. You know, she cooks for me and she takes care of me, and sometimes vice versa. You know, if you're a man and you think you always got to be macho and alpha, and otherwise you lose frame, and your woman is gonna disrespect you and find someone else. You know, if you're living in that reality, you're telling yourself these things, you're only going to attract specific women who also follow that narrative. And then, you know, one day, God forbid, you lose your job and you end up uh, jobless, and then they kick you out because you can't pay rent. And then what? You know, and then what? And then you don't have a woman that can support you while you're in your weakened state. Is that what you really want for yourself? Is that what you really think this is all about? You know, I'm here to tell you guys, I'm here to remind you guys that there are good women out there for men to be with, all right? But when you want a good woman, you have to ask yourself, am I a good man? Am I a decent man, first of all? And you stripped away your ability to provide, you stripped away your looks and your charisma. What makes you a good man is what's inside, just your fortitude, okay? Your ability to stand up to the world, even when they everyone say you're wrong, okay, your ability to be calm, collected, and just you don't need to constantly play this role that you're some kind of superhero and you have no emotion. That doesn't work either, guys. You have to show some emotion in order to for the woman to feel safe and for her to reveal her true self, right? That's just how it works. So that's just one of the things I observed, is this men against women bullshit. And I'm tired of it, guys. I'm tired of it. And I'm wondering, like, where are the normal people? Like, where are the regular people out here? Does the algorithm not want to promote that? Does the algorithm not want normal, healthy, freaking relationship? And they just want men and women to fight each other, like on separate corners of social media. Women on the TikTok and men on the YouTube here. It's ridiculous. So this channel, like, I want to speak to you from the heart, and sometimes I stumble, and sometimes I don't always say exactly what I mean, because it's hard being behind the camera looking at yourself. And I always say, like, the people who are really good at it, there's only two kind of people. Yes, there's ones that have been practicing a channel for a long time, but the ones that it comes naturally to them, they can just talk behind the camera and not stumble and not say or and or whatever. It's a narcissist. They're so used to, like, being performative and being charismatic, right? But it's really hard. It's hard, but I still want to do it. I still want to do it because I want to make this community work, and I want a counter argument to what you see out there online. So give me a subscribe, give me a like, give me some suggestion, give me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. See you later.